Well, Michael, I think this is our first chat since the end of last season. I know football managers never stop, but you had a little bit of a break over the break, did you?
Yeah, to be fair, got a bit of a breakaway with the family and that, which was lovely. But to be fair, when you go into the coaching side with the phone never stopped, so I was quite busy and you're on a different time zone as well. So I was up quite early every morning there, answering the phone, trying to get players and looking at other players through agents and things. So it's been relentless for all the staff, to be fair, but we've all managed to get a break, get refreshed, and tried our best to bring what we feel are good players to the football club.
And we'll come on to, I mean, obviously pre-season training started and everything. We'll come on to that in a minute. But just putting last season to bed, I mean, you obviously, came in halfway through the season. It was an emotional roller coaster for everybody concerned, right up to the last day. Have you got any final reflections on last season? And also, were there any things you learned as a manager during that time?
Oh yeah, definitely 100%. I think for me it was a massive learning curve. You go into coaching, and I've been an assistant manager in the league and things like that. Some big clubs, it was great. You have your ideas and that, but soon changes when you're the manager. And we come into a situation it ended up being quite drastic, to be honest with you. And we didn't exactly hit the ground running, but we managed to slowly turn things around and get some momentum, and probably made the squad and the team a bit younger and fresher, and we got some results, which was brilliant for us. So it was a massive learning for me, and probably the big thing as well in the end was just relief that we stayed in the league, because I think I say relief, I don't say that easily, but with the form that some of the other teams picked up, it became very, very tight. And lucky enough we managed to keep winning games and picking up the necessary points. But previous years it's been a lot easier to stay up in this league, and to end up with 52 points or something and just stay up was a big ask. So hopefully this year we're a lot better.
Yeah, it was bizarre, wasn't it, how the results, watching other teams' results, it just...
Yeah, listen, credit to all the other teams, the run of form everybody kind of picked up, and some of the runs the teams went on, and at times it was tricky for us. You were ending up in bottom two and getting yourself out, are we safe, are we not safe? And yeah, it wasn't good for the heart, but I'm sure as a fan it was just as bad, very worrying times. But I think the way the form turned, we were always quite confident in what we were doing and what we had as well. I think that was the big thing for us as a coaching staff. We believed in who we brought in the end, and when it did get tight, we kind of looked at what we were doing and what others were doing and thinking we're okay, and it proved that in the end.
And I think always one of the sad things about being a fan is you have turnover in the summer and players leave without having a chance to have a proper goodbye. And I'm just thinking, you've got Scott Cuthbert, who was captain and been player of the season, and in particular Josh Casey, who'd been with the club for many years, very much the face, a winner. And I suppose those two leaving in particular were big holes to fill.
Oh, massive for us, Scotty was brilliant for us as a staff when we came in, and he was first and foremost absolutely, stalwart as a player, absolutely brilliant, and big reason why we stayed up. He's the type of player, he's irreplaceable, and we were disappointed to lose him, to be honest with you. He's probably played a lot more than he needed to, but probably shows the mark of the man to keep wheeling himself out there at his age and to play 40 plus games. Well deserving of his player of the year, but he's moved on now, which was, great for him and his family, that he's, a bit closer to home. He's sacrificed a lot the last few years, so I think he wanted to step back and playing, and he's got a great opportunity, so good luck to him. And then obviously Josh, for me as a manager, first and foremost, absolutely brilliant captain, always put the team first, and it was tough for him at times under me. He was in the team, he was out the team, he got injured. Other people, Kevin Burke, namely, came in and was a revelation. It was a bit tough for Josh to get back into the team. But I think the biggest mark I can pay him was after we lost the second last game of the season to York. The first thing in my mind was that next week I need characters for this game, because I knew it was such a big game for the football club, needing to get a result against Foyle. The first person on the team sheet for me was Josh, because I knew what the club meant to him first of all, and the character of the man. And it was unfortunate. We wanted him to stay. He's got a really good job, and we kind of dangled the carrot of giving him an extra day off or two a week, you know, because I think he meant that much to the club in the sense of he knew the club, he knew everything about it. He was he kind of was the club in a sense of what he brought, and you know, I think it was a really difficult decision for him. You know, he put his family, I think, first, and what was best for him and his job. And you know, probably the mark of the man was that when we had the conversation about him not staying was gaffer. Like, I really appreciate the offer of the extra couple of day or day off, but I wouldn't feel right doing it to the lads. And I thought, you know, that probably sums him up as a person. You know, I think for us, I'd love at some stage next year, or even in pre-season, to have him back here and get a proper good boy. I think it's right. People like him, when they're at clubs like that for this long, they leave on their terms. I think that's very important, and I think Josh has done that. And I think for us, it'd be great as a club, as a sort of mark of respect and thank you, if we could have him back in some capacity, even if it's at half time in a game. The kind of the fans to show the appreciation that he deserves, you know, because he has given an awful lot for the football club.
Yeah, that's a really good idea, and I think it'll be strange for fans not to see him running out or winding up the linesman or whatever we've become very used to.
Yep.
So big shoes to fill, but have you been happy with how the early recruitment has gone?
Yeah, look, we were quite aggressive with the recruitment early, and we needed to be. We felt we needed to get a little bit younger, and we're hoping we're gonna, with that, the players we tried to recruit. The big thing for us was, you know, kind of fitting into the style of play that we have, and I think you've seen that with the players we signed previously that have come in and done a job for us. But at the same time, with people that have played a lot of games in the last couple of years, you know, I think that's really important for us. Last year, listen, some tough conversations at the end of the season, lost some brilliant lads. Obviously, we spoke about Josh and Scotty, but you could speak about the whole lot of the lads. There wasn't a bad lad amongst them, and there was some tough conversations to be had. But I think for us, the squad last year was too many bodies in the end because of injury, and we just can't afford this year to go again like that again. You know, what we need is a tight group, and building a bit of a culture here that we're fit, you know, durable for games. And it's important for us now with pre-season that we get that into the lads, because we're hoping that we get a bit of luck this year that we can keep people fit and get them out on the pitch most weeks, whereas last year, certainly in my time, we were getting people fit, and it was unfortunate. We were breaking down, and you know, some of the fantastic players, but it was just, we just couldn't manage to keep them fit, you know. So I think that's a big lesson for us going forward. We want people that we can get on the pitch week in, week out.
And there have been a few changes behind the scenes as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, listen, we've lost Scotty and Marlon, you know, which was unfortunate. They're two great guys and did absolutely brilliant for us. But we've managed to bring in John Keeley as the goalkeeping coach, who John was when I was a player at Portsmouth. He'd been at Portsmouth a long time, worked under a lot of managers at promotions at a lot of clubs, you know. So he brings a wealth of experience into the goalkeeping department, and that's a brilliant for us. And we've managed to get Ian Hutton, you know, again, someone I've worked with previously, brilliant head of performance. He's a big job in his hands, making sure everybody stays fit, and that's going to be what he does, you know. So we seen Ian was, you know, he was available, so we kind of reached out to him and see if it was something that would interest him. I feel very lucky to add him to the group. And again, I think early days, you can see the lads that are being worked hard, and you know, we're hopefully going to be fit through the season. That's the plan.
Yeah, I can second that. I've just seen the players coming back. They looked tired. They looked in pain, some of them, but with smiles on their faces as well. How does pre-season progress? I mean, presumably early on, is it just a lot of fitness and then to get ready for the start of the season?
To be fair, we're quite balanced, you know. As I say, we've put a lot of work into them so early, and look, we've kind of told them what to expect from the end of last season. I think they knew how we trained, and that pre-season was going to be tough, and you know, there's no point in going backwards. We're looking to go forwards, and we've asked lads for a lot of buy-in. And you know, you could see today it was tough for them. You know, they've had the day off, and they come in again today. I think the fatigue and the DOMS is really kicking in on them. But again, they just keep getting their head down and going again. So they get through tomorrow. It's the first week done, which is usually for me it's the hardest week. And we've everything that's been done has been done with the balls as well. But there's a lot of mind stuff in there as well that you have to get through, which they've done. And as I say, if they get through this week, it should go a long way. And how the season's going to go, you know, I think for us, we're looking to build a bit of a culture here. And there's nothing better for me as a player when you get through a bit of a tough run together as teammates and group, and you can kind of turn around at the end and give each other a hug, because at times it's easy just to give up, but once you get through these things and you achieve it, you feel better for it, you know.
I'm sure, like a lot of fans, they'll be logging on regularly to Twitter or saying, "Oh, is there any more news? Is there any more news?" And there are obviously a few places still up for grabs. Is there any news that fans can be looking forward to? You can't go into specifics.
Yeah, well, look, we're still looking to build. As I say, we've been quite aggressive early, and I know we had that day where we announced five, 6 signings, and I think people were getting excited. But you know, things have changed around the club, the dynamics a little bit, which is not a problem. We're just looking to build. We're still looking to keep building, trying to add players. We're in contact with, you know, players all the time. It's just making sure we get the right people and it's right for them as well, because you don't want to sign people that aren't fully committed, you know. So I think that's a big thing for us, is getting people that are committed into what we're doing. And as I say, I still think there's still a bit of business to be done. It'll just be a matter of when, you know. Yeah. So we'll have to just wait and see.
And the loan market obviously is quite big at this level, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, again, massively. Look at the minute, everybody. There's no beating around the bush. There's a lot of players that'll be around the league, clubs, and they want to try and stay in the league. And we'll probably be the beneficiaries of that come kind of late August and things like that. Players will start falling to you when they've not managed to get the loan move they probably would have liked. So it probably opens the door for people like ourselves to see what comes.
And finally, I mean, the pitch is already looking great. There's a bit of a buzz around the club. Preseason friendlies will be here soon. I mean, so overall, you're feeling pretty up for it.
Yeah, positive. Look, I think for me, quite upbeat. You know, very, very patient, putting a lot of work into the players. It ain't going to get any easier for the next week or two. So the big thing going into the friendlies, really looking forward to them. But one, it's players getting to know how each of them plays. So it can be quite frustrating as a coach at times. Never mind as a fan. It's, you know, you start judging people. I don't think I'd say is not to judge people too quick, because we're all learning new systems, how we want to play. People are learning each other's games. It takes a little bit of time. And on top of that as well, they're going to be quite fatigued. They're probably going to go into them games purposely not where we want them to be. They're probably going to be quite fatigued. So we'll see how we go. We're looking forward to it. I'm enjoying where the lads are at, to be fair. They're giving us absolutely everything. The work rate out of the players and the togetherness is it's been relentless, and that's exactly what we want going forward. We want to build a culture as a team and a club that, you know, people are proud going out, and they're proud when they see their team on a Saturday. I think that's the most important thing for me. With Woking next year, we want the fans to be proud of the team that's on the pitch, you know. So we're doing our best to make sure they represent that.
Great to hear. Thanks for the chat, Michael. Good to see you, and we'll catch up again soon.
Yeah, brilliant. No, really excited and looking forward to everything ahead. So thanks very much.